Hello everyone and welcome to Magic Friday. My name is Jamie D. Grant and today we are, sorry, I'm just trying to show that I do have hair. It's the light washes it out. And today we're going to talk about a lot of things. At the end of this review, we're going to talk about how much money I make, just for kicks. Like trying to do a little essay at the end of each one. Magic Friday is viewed by a very specific kind of performer, I think. It's for people that are looking for stuff that they can actually use. And it's not, it's not known by everyone. Not everyone knows Magic Friday. So if you're viewing this, I want to give you the inside scoop. And part of that is a promise for me that I'm not going to lie to you. I remember seeing Eric Evans, the busker, and he lectured here one time, and his line that stayed with me forever was, "We're all in this together." So I'm a firm believer in that, and I don't think by imparting honest information to you guys it's going to hurt my business at all. So I'm going to be totally honest and tell you whatever I can to help you with your careers. So we're going to talk about that at the end. First of all, we're going to talk about Mark Mason's Miracle Chip. Can that focus on there? I think that's pretty focused. Okay, so let's get right into it. What the audience sees. Now, actually, before we get to what the audience sees, I've been doing a lot of gigs because we're in December. If you're watching this in 2050 and it's June, I'm recording this in December, and most of my gigs come at Christmas parties, corporate Christmas parties. So I've been doing sometimes 2 a night. And I wrote an essay a while back about how many tricks you need to know, and I think I talked about it last week, which was 9. I still intersperse little effects, little visual pieces of magic in and out of my main routines. And the way I do that is we all get the same questions at walk-around parties. How long have you been doing this? The classic ones, which I hear every single party, is, "Hey, can you make my wife disappear?" Like, who says that? Everybody, apparently. My line for that, by the way, is "Hey, Jamie, can you make my wife disappear? Ha 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 ha." And I go, "Oh, sorry, she already beat you to it. How are you feeling?" That's usually my line. Or I'll try and get his last name. I'll say, "What's your last name again? Jones? Oh yeah, she already beat you to it, brother. How are you feeling?" It gets a laugh, and then I'll always follow it up with, "Because you look awesome." And then I high five. That is hilarious. I just want to throw that out. It's hilarious for a bunch of reasons, because normally the type of guy that says that doesn't get high-fived at very often. There's a certain kind of power play when I pay him a compliment. I'm kind of putting him down a little, because you don't want his wife to feel bad. Like how crappy does his wife feel that, can you make my wife just tactless? So you kind of want to take him down a little notch, but you also want to build him up and take him down. So she beat you to it, take him down. How you feeling? Because you look awesome. Build him up. And then I make him high five me. So sometimes it's, it's a billionaire having to high five. When's the last time you high fived? I don't know. Anyway. The other line, have I ever told you how much I ramble? You guys know how much I ramble. The other line that I get all the time is, wait for it, any guesses? "You must be amazing at the casino." So I try and use those lines to introduce the effect for me. It's almost like they're telling me which effect I'm going to do next. So as soon as they say that, I tell them, "Oh man, you must be great at the casino." I'll say, "Oh, that reminds me, I was just there last week in Vegas," which helps because now it implies that I'm performing in Vegas. "And I was just at the Desert Sands." It's amazing how many people don't know that that's not real. Anyway, I go, "Check this out. I've got a poker chip and an American silver dollar," which is funny because this is a $50. But here in Canada, nobody knows what American money looks like. So I say, "Let me show you this." So now we're finally into what the audience sees. Okay, can I focus on that? Take a look. So they say, you must be amazing at the casino. I pull this out. "You're not going to believe this. I was just there. And take a look. I've got my my poker chip. I stole from the casino. Well, it's only worth $1. This one, actually, this one's 100, but don't ask. It's a long story. And an American silver dollar, which is my lucky silver dollar. But here's the thing: is if I actually take the silver dollar, I can actually make it disappear. Now, here's the thing: I don't make it disappear. The casinos make it disappear. Has anyone ever been to a casino and walked out with money? They're not called charities for a reason. That kind of intersperses some conversation, right? And I think I've talked about this before, is when you're doing walk around magic, you gotta, you might have 2 hours to fill. So you don't want to basically, show them the coin and you don't want to pick it up and go, and it's gone. For my next trick, you want to talk, build rapport. So, hey, sorry about that. I had to make a cut there. I'll explain later. So what was I saying? I was saying about how I talk about how I make money disappear just like anybody else. I'm just a regular guy when it comes to the casino, even though I'm a sleight of hand master. So usually, yeah, I'll make the money disappear, show them the actual poker chip, and then I'll end up doing some sort of coin flurry, free jive it. I actually do that a lot. It's the typical, we'll make it, disappear and, kind of whatever, blah, blah, blah. It goes on for days if I have to. It's just a nice little visual piece. And it incorporates a lot because people love poker chips. They love casinos. Everybody's been to Vegas, so everyone has a story. So when this is done, you're going to get a story from someone by saying, what's your favorite place in Vegas? Name your favorite show. It helps building into these conversations. And the nice thing about this, like I was saying, is that someone's brought it up. It's not like, let me tell you about the time that I was at the casino. All right, here we go. A poker chip. He's saying, the casino, he's introducing it. So anytime that the audience can bring up the story and then you have applicable magic, you're golden. So how does it go? Of course, it goes great. This is, I love this. I think it's $100 in real life. But it's worth its weight in gold, really. What would that be worth in gold? Probably $100? My gold prices, I don't know. It's great. I mean, look how small it is, first of all. So I don't know how many of you do or do not know what's happening here. I'm guessing a lot of you probably do. It's extremely well made. I'm sure the question that a lot of you are thinking is, can it be passed out? Would I pass this out? What's funny? I can't answer that because I've never passed it out. And that's something, that's probably a topic for next week, is you don't have to pass things out. You don't have to, take a look at this and make sure that's a real poker chip. It's a real poker chip. Why would you pass that out? And of course, if someone were to say to me, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'll be honest with you, no one's ever asked, give me that poker chip. Maybe it's because they don't, no one would say, give me your $100. Let me expect that $100. I think people are a little bit less likely to ask for money from you to look at. If someone said to me, can I see that? I'd be like, are you crazy? You want me to give you my $100? Get out. No. Ask me again. No. Ask me again. Still no. You just gotta play with them, yet be forceful. So, would it withstand inspection? Yeah, I mean, it withstands this, right? I just dropped it. More of my hair, okay? I mean, it withstands inspection. It's great. It's machined so well. It's beautiful. I love this thing. This actually reminded of how much I love it. I keep it in my wallet too, because you'd be amazed at how many times I'm just out and people talk about how I'm great at the casino. And when I do that, I also keep an extra American $50 for the kind of scotcha and soda-y, have it appear somewhere else, right? So put pocket, instead of pickpocket, put pocket, silver dollar, make this one disappear. It's in your whatever. It's fantastic. I don't do that routine so much walk around. I wish I had a reason why. I just don't. I do the coin flurry, just because I guess that's what I do. So when I'm out and about, I do the put pocket one. So difficulty 0. It's not difficult at all, which is most of the magic. I try to do a lot of magic that's not difficulty. Reminded of the flourishy thing to the big one. That's an Eric Evans bit, by the way. The guy that we were talking about, who was saying we're all in this together. That's his. I learned that from him. It's great. Where did I learn that? Is that in his The Secret Art of Magic? It might be. Maybe I'll look that up for you. Anyway, that takes practice. Coin flurries take practice. This kind of thing, takes some sort of practice, right? But as for the trick itself, just making that coin disappear, it's as easy as you're ever going to get. So how does it go? I think we went over that. Awesome. Angry Bob. Angry Bob for this is going to be Angry Bob was not angry. Angry Bob was very, very happy because he knows exactly what this is, because I think he had a scotch and soda at one point in his life. So yeah, are you feeling magicians with this? No. But I'm not showing this to magicians. I'm showing this at my working gigs and my friends. And the thing that makes up for it, for me, is that this is, I'm talking instantaneously resettable. Like, I'm reset. It's and it's magic, and I'm reset. Like, for a walk around performer, this is, yeah, love it. Love everything about it. JDG tip. What is my tip for this? I guess we can say the tip is what to say if someone asks to look at it. We'll make that one the whole JD tip. Rewind. That was the JDG tip. Like I said, though, people are less likely to ask to inspect money, I find. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I've never had it. I've never had someone say, give me that. So, and, I've had this for so long. I believe, don't quote me, we'll have to look at the instructions. I believe he gives you an extra. I'm positive, almost positive, that he gives you an extra one if you want to switch it in and out. What the audience sees, how it went, difficulty, Angry Bob, JDG tip, yeah. Okay, money, closing thoughts. Let's talk about how much I made last night. Ready? 2-hour walk around gig. Let's see, take a guess, how much? Okay, $1,000. $1,000 for 2 hours of walk around. Now, before everyone starts saying, lynch him, he's a millionaire, lynch Jamie. Doesn't happen every night, things to remember. Doesn't happen every night. And it took me a while to work up to that. I have another essay somewhere about how I think you should charge. And I hope we have enough time here. This is going to be a long one. So I personally view charging money based on a number of criteria. One of which is how much is rent in your city. I believe that how much you charge is directly applicable to how much a 1-bedroom apartment rents for. That's the only way to gauge it, because a country, I'm not going to be geographically prejudiced, but let me just pick a country where we know the average wage is less. Like, I think I read somewhere on Facebook, India, for example. Here in Canada, a 1-bedroom apartment is about, $1,200 in Vancouver. In India, maybe it's, I don't know, I haven't been there. Taiwan or Thailand, maybe it's what? Maybe it's as low as 100. I don't know. I hope I'm not being a jerk by saying that. I think it's less. So that's why, you read online how much these guys are charging, and they'll be like, I charge $100 for 2 hours and I'm charging $1,000. Like, how do we get on earth did that discrepancy happen? And I think it's directly applicable to rent. That's how I try and gauge it. So I have a large number of factors in my favor that let me charge that. One of the key, and this is going to be a whole other topic, is that magic is not my full-time job. As we know, Magic Friday, I have a regular gig. I think a lot of you know, I'm also a paramedic. So paramedicine gives me my life. Like, that's my living. If I never did another magic gig, my wife and I would be fine. We'd have a a wonderful life. So magic is extra, and granted, while magic can, equal my paramedic income or exceed it, it gives me the benefit of throwing out prices that I might not normally be able to do. If I was a starving magician, because I haven't built up enough, and and someone said a quote and they said how much for 2 hours, and I don't know if I would have personally. I don't know if I'd have the gumption to throw out numbers higher every time, and that's what I've been doing over the course of 10 years. Is every year I've just been trying to get higher and higher and higher because I got nothing to lose. That's how I've managed to do it. So if you're in a small town in the middle of, Midwestern, Ohio, and, population is, 1,000 people, it's going to be hard. I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be hard to charge those numbers. You're going to be going on what rent is in your town. So it takes some risk. And let me say as well that this is the first year. I think I charged $1,000 for 2 hours. It's $750 for an hour, $1,000 for two. That's for a walk around. And I think last year near the end I started throwing out those numbers, and I booked a couple shows. But this year is the first time. This was my first season of these are my rates. This is what I'm not offering less. And it's the first year that I've had several companies not email me back. How much for a quote? I give them the price. I hear nothing back. But if I get one of these gigs, it beats, a gig and a half or whatever, 2 gigs, gig and a half from my previous year. So working less, same amount of money. The people that don't hire me though, are they thinking Jamie's a jerk or he's trying to rob us? I don't know. I have yet to talk to those people that didn't hire me, but those are things to consider as well, right? And I also have a lot of benefit as well because my website, I have a really good reputation in Vancouver. Like a lot of these companies have already booked me, so the incremental price increase is pretty normal, and most of my bookings come from word of mouth now anyway. So I've already got a head start. It's not like they're cold calling me. And as well, when you look at my website, there's pictures of me with Sarah McLachlan, and I'm in Rupees Believe It or Not, and I teach magic at the university, and yada yada. So I've built a really good base for myself. And in a strange twist, being a paramedic also helps because we're going to get really into the head here for a second. I personally feel that people with successful day jobs can charge more because it's almost like a special skill set. It's almost like, oh, we need to pay Jamie more to make him not paramedic today and come out as a magician. Like it's almost like being I view it as in my head as a superhero, and they've got to pay to see me as Superman. I'm gonna charge them. If I'm walking around as Superman all the time, they think they can get it for less. But if they've always seen me in Clark Kent, and they just want to see what this Superman is that everyone's talking about, like what he doesn't look like the Superman. I think they pay more to see it, if that makes any sort of sense. So my advice to you, if you're booking gigs, is don't start off at the max, right? So what am I trying to say? 2 hours for a 1-bedroom apartment. That's kind of the exchange that we're looking at, right? $1,000. So in 2 hours, you're gonna make what you could charge in your city for a 1-bedroom apartment. It's gonna take a while to work up to there, and you're gonna lose gigs on the way there. So I think the lowest I think when I first started, it was 300, man, it might have even been less. Don't forget, this was 10 years ago. So I think when I started, it was $150 an hour and 200 for two, maybe 10 years ago. So for some reason that sticks with me. So I've quintupled that price. So that's kind of gives you an idea of how long it's going to take to get there. Build up your rapport, get testimonials, and the greatest testimonial you can get is to be asked back. That's the greatest testimonial you can ever get, is for them. Barry Richardson told me this. His only goal when doing magic is for them to say, when can we have him back? And I've done companies like 8 years in 8 Christmas parties I've been to, the same company. It's crazy. Those are things to consider. I've talked for way too long. We're at 50. I don't even know if this is going to be able to fit on YouTube. Dear God, it's like a DVD all of a sudden. You're watching a Jamie D. Grant DVD. Which reminds me, all this stuff is going into a book. I'm writing the book, but now I'm thinking, why not make it a DVD? You guys could just listen to me talk for 19 hours and maybe just want to just fall asleep. You know, it's terrible. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, I somehow doubt it. If you did, hopefully I gave you some sort of information. Mark Mason's Miracle Chip is awesome. I love it. And we will see you next week here at Magic Friday.